All right, here we go, up to the Sierra Estrella Highpoint, unofficially known as Hayes Peak. Southwest of Phoenix, and we should have about a 3,000 foot elevation gain, and the summit's around 4,500 feet. So what we've decided to do is go up to point 4232 first. That's not the summit of it there, it's further back, but we're gonna basically take that canyon straight up the middle. So we'll head just left here a little bit up into the canyon and then just follow whatever route looks the best up to the summit of 4232. So I'm here with my brother Patrick, who hikes with me a lot. His best friend since preschool, Neil, who's in the front, and then my other brother, Josh. So Neil and Josh are both visiting here from the East Coast. Yeah.
This is beer, dude.
It's just so neat how the vegetation grows. That cholla is just growing right out of the side of the cliff there. Pretty nice, slightly vegetated, just cholla, saguaro, and the Palo Verde trees and some creosote and some other stuff. So we'll continue now on the ridge more up to that first point, and maybe we'll get a visual of the peak up there, I don't know. We may have to get up to that next one before we can actually see the summit.
Zach, I hope this video really conveys how out of shape I am.
So we're getting there, just about 600 more feet of elevation to go. And that right there is Montezuma sleeping. Looks like the profile of a guy, I guess Montezuma, laying down. And then that should be our destination right there, maybe just a tiny bit further back, point 4232, our first destination. Just above the saddle to the west of 4232. Here's my view, looking south. And then up here is 4232. Man, I kind of wish we had a better sun angle right now because some of the views up here are pretty awesome, especially looking down at the route up. And there's Phoenix. Once we get up to Hayes, the sun should be significantly higher. Get some more views from up there. So we came up this last ridge on the final stretch over to the right of it. That's the canyon we were in, right in the middle for a little bit. We were on the other ridge, kind of that point right there. And then below that is where we climbed up the wash in a steep section, but we were in the main wash to start, just kind of down over here. So there's multiple routes up here.
And then a year later, they found a backpack 8 miles away that was his. And it was propped up like that. Out in the middle of nowhere. It's crazy, man.
That is crazy. Okay, we just need to make our way down the ridge a little bit.
Okay.
So pretty much straight up there. There's one little section where you are definitely better off turning around, facing the rock and down climbing. It's just for a few feet. But otherwise, it's not too bad.
Water is this. Can I drink it? That's mine. You can have some if you want.
on the saddle. It's pretty nice here. A lot of different types of vegetation. Some grass too and flowers. And there's 4232. So we should have about a 600-foot elevation gain up to the summit of the Sierra Estrella Highpoint. And we're a little bit over 3 hours into the hike now. Well, there's the summit, not too much further now. Okay, here it is. Sierra Estrella Highpoint.
Did you put the Pop-Tarts? They're in the, the front part.
Okay, facing west now.
I don't even know what's in here. It's in the bag. There you go. Neil, you want to? Where'd you see all that? See all this?
Unless there's, is there enough for everyone to have it or something? I'll take one if there's not that much.
There's like...
Just getting some views to the south. Montezuma sleeping is kind of in the foreground, and then the peak a little further back is Butterfly Mountain right there. Quartz Peak is somewhere in the mix there. I'm not sure which one it is. And then I think that's Montezuma Peak, the highest point on the south part of the range. It's a little bit lower than here, but not much. Man, there's a lot of haze to the east of here. Over top of the haze there are the Pinal Mountains, just kind of sticking out. And then the four peaks are out there. This is one of the Arizona 2,000-foot prominent peaks. I'm not sure where it ranks, but it's probably got 3,000 feet of prominence or so. All right, we're starting back down. This is looking south here, but here's one more look at the summit. Neil decided he wants to call the helicopter. Okay, and then the last look at the Sierra Estrella Highpoint from up here. I don't know how well we can see it from the car. I guess we'll find out when we get there. And there's 4232, which is a pretty fun little climb. Well, here's a look back up the canyon. We still have a good, I don't know, 1,700 feet of descent to go, but it's pretty cool in here. Just a nice clear blue sky above, but man, a lot of haze on the eastern horizon for sure. Further west isn't too bad. So we've noticed some rock piles on this route. This is probably the most direct route to the summit, is just come straight up this main wash here.
The limit of what my legs can do.
Yeah, I know, there. Watch this move. Hold on, I gotta take my gloves off. Oh no, it's happening.
It's pretty slick. It's like a karate kicking. I was just trying to zigzag it.
Canyon is opening up, we're leveling out a little bit more. We still probably have about 400 feet of descent to go, but we're making progress. We came down from the saddle right there in the middle. Well, the wildflowers are starting to bloom here. We're out of the canyon now, out of the wash too. Should have maybe a quarter mile or so back to the car. Just looking back up at the ridge. So we went up that way, up to 4232. Well, that's the saddle we came down from, and the actual summit of Sierra Estrella Highpoint is behind that furthest point in the middle right there. So you can't see it from here, which is kind of a bummer. It's nice to look back and see what you accomplished, but we made it. It was about a 6-mile round trip. I think we were about 6 hours too, something like that. So average 1 mile an hour, but definitely worth it. Great hike. Fun climb on point 4232 as well. That was pretty neat. Okay, here's a look back at the Sierra Estrella Highpoint. We're on Riggs Road, just taking a little break, getting some pictures. That was fun. Really awesome hike and good challenge too.